Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I thought we'd talk a little bit about how I developed my speed, my picking technique early on when I was learning to play. I started playing in the early 80s. It was probably about 1980 that I got real serious. So it was long before the internet or anything like that. But one thing I did not do when I was building up my speed was I never did the slow, set the metronome, and then just build everything up. That was never anything I did. I just kind of improvised a lot, and if I wanted to play something, I would just fake it and pretend like I could already play it and just play it the best I could. So how I developed my speed was actually by practicing fast. I know you hear the old adage, slow playing equals fast playing. Well, it wasn't that way for me. I was never a guy that sat with the metronome early on and then just did drills over and over while I notched the metronome up. As my playing's progressed over the years, I do a lot of metronome work, and it's more just to practice different tempos and improvising and things like that. And I broke my playing down into two things where I'd have like a slow and medium playing where I'd play 16th notes. So that would be some examples of a medium tempo, and I would just try to play 16ths as long as I could without stopping, playing lines and just making my fingers go in certain patterns over a rhythm. So I would do a lot of that when I was improvising, and I never sat down and worked those patterns out. I would just take the scale and just start going, and if I find little patterns that worked, I would just repeat them over and over. And I was learning a lot of solos by a lot of different players, so I would have all those licks at my arsenal also. From Al Meola, Randy Rhoads, Eddie Van Halen, Yngwie Malmsteen, Alan Holdsworth, to all the Shrapnel guys, Richie Blackmore, Michael Schenker. I mean, I was a fan and still am of guitar, so I would just take as much as I could and put it into my playing, and that would kind of be my vocabulary. And then when I'd improvise, I would just weave in and out of all these different patterns and licks that I had actually learned. So I really recommend learning as many different solos and from as many different players as you can. And then you'll find your own voice from that just when you're improvising. I think your own voice comes out while we're improvising. Then when I heard the fast guys, like I talk about Yngwie and Al Meola and players like that, I started hearing lines like... For me, I worked so much on my left hand before I could even pick that I had a really strong left hand, and I really credit that to learning to pick fast quickly because my left hand, I had worked it out and it was pretty good for the time. So what I would do is I would take a lick that I was going to learn picking, and I would want to feel the speed, so my left hand was fast, so I worked up my left hand kind of first. So I might go... One thing that really helped me was starting on time. I noticed early on if I didn't do the lick right or my timing got off, I would go into the lick too early. So for me, waiting back to start the lick on the beat really made a world of difference. I really worked on one string first, so I might do, that was, I always do the Yngwie, like I love that, it's just part of my playing. I would mix it up like I've talked about. And I really recommend when you're learning picking, starting on one string. Don't worry about any string crossing right off the bat. If you want to get your playing fast and fluid, do the one string. Practice switching positions. You could do like the Yngwie like I did there. You could do like the Meola Vinnie Moore sixes, which I do a lot. And then you can do with the metronome as well. Like here's 120. I'll just hammer. And you're relaxed because you can already feel the speed. I always found 120 to be a great speed to practice. For me, I never wanted to be able just to play fast a little bit. I wanted to be able to play lines at a speed that was quick that I could play as long as I wanted to. So I would just sit around and practice my left hand. So when I got one string down, I would try two strings, and I just learned as many two-string licks as I could. Taking some familiar patterns at the time I was learning. So I would do that with two strings with licks like, I would practice hammering that. I wouldn't even worry about, the notes coming out as hammer so much as if I was going to pick it as just the movements like I did there, where I'm kind of hammering, but I'm not. I'm feeling more just the motions I would do if I was picking. And then I would practice picking the lick. And then I might do that with the metronome at 120. That's what it sounds like without the left hand. One thing that really helped me that I did right off the bat was when I learned a lick that I really felt comfortable with, I would use that as my starting point, and then I'd branch out to other patterns from that, but my timing would kind of be together and I'd already have kind of the ball rolling, so to speak. So I might take a lick like, so that really helped me, and that's a way that I learned to kind of play faster pick things. That's the route I took. I didn't take these slow and build it up. I just practiced the motions and then try to sync them up at the same time, and it worked well for me. So it might work well for some of you, so maybe experiment with it and see what happens, and I hope good things happen for you. So thanks a lot for watching, and I really enjoyed doing these, and please like and subscribe if you enjoy this, and I'll do more. And thanks so much for watching, and have fun picking.